If this video reached you, it wasn't by chance. There is a code hidden in plain sight that's shaping your life right now. It's not an algorithm, it's your own voice. The ancient Egyptians understood this. They used it to build an empire. They knew that certain words don't just communicate, they command. Words can function like spells, shaping reality for creation or destruction. Even the language gives it away. The word grammar traces back to grimoire, a book of magic. That's not coincidence, it's evidence. You were taught how to speak, but never how to wield the true power of your speech. Every time you say, "I can't," or "life is hard," you're not just expressing frustration, you're issuing an instruction, a direct order that reality moves to fulfill. And that's why the same patterns keep repeating. The same struggles, the same walls. You're not stuck by fate. You're caught in a loop created by your own words. But what if I told you there's a way to break this spell? What if you could use the same code the pharaohs used to manifest power and wealth? Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to reveal exactly how this Egyptian code works and how you can use it to rewrite your destiny starting today. If you feel you are ready to awaken this power, comment below. The universe chose me. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Every day, you sign an invisible contract that defines your future using a code that operates your life on autopilot, your own language. Since childhood, you have been taught to speak, but the truth about the power of your words has been omitted. This truth, known to ancient civilizations, is hidden in our vocabulary, waiting to be rediscovered. You have been using a tool of creation without knowing its instruction manual. The proof lies in the origin of words. Spelling in English is spelling, which sounds like casting a spell. Grammar comes from grimoire, a book of magic. This is no coincidence. It's a clue to a forgotten technology that doesn't use algorithms, but the vibration of your voice. Every word you pronounce is not just sound. It's a direct command sent to the universe in order for reality to manifest. Most people live ignoring this power, repeating phrases like "I can't" or "life is a struggle." They don't realize that this isn't a venting of frustration, but a decree, an order that programs the reality around them. Each limiting phrase is a clause you add to this invisible contract, forcing your life to conform to the scarcity and difficulty that you yourself have declared as truth. Imagine your reality as a genie that obeys without question. When you say something is too difficult, it doesn't argue. It creates obstacles to prove you right. Your biology responds, your energy diminishes, and opportunities disappear. You are literally building your own prison with the words you use, reinforcing the bars with every complaint and self-criticism, signing contracts of limitation day after day. This programming becomes your identity. You believe you are an unlucky or penniless person, without realizing that this belief was forged by the repetition of these verbal spells. But what if you could tear up these contracts? What if you accessed the power the Egyptians used to create an empire, not seeing the word as communication, but as the very force of creation? There is a power that precedes the world, and it is in your voice. This force that the Egyptians mastered was not a trick or an illusion. It was the fundamental energy of the universe, the raw material of existence itself. They called it Heka. For them, Heka was not simply magic as we understand it today. It was the dynamic force, the activating power that allowed the universe to emerge from primordial chaos and transform into order. Heka was the energy that the gods used to create stars, rivers, and life itself. And the tool they used to channel Heka was the spoken word sound. Egyptian cosmology tells us that creation was not a physical act, but an act of speech. The creator god Ptah first conceived the entire universe in his mind, in his heart. He visualized every detail, every being, every law of nature. But nothing yet existed. Creation only became real, physical, and manifest the moment he opened his mouth and uttered the name of each of the things he had imagined. By naming, he brought them into existence. This act established the most important principle of all. The word is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. What has been lost over the millennia, what has been deliberately hidden, is that this spark of Heka, this power of creation through speech, does not belong only to the gods. Every human being carries this same capacity within themselves. Your voice is not merely a biological mechanism for producing sound. It is a direct channel to this primordial creative energy. Every word you utter is an act of invocation, a command that mobilizes the force of Heka to build something in the material world. You are a creator, whether you know it or not. The big problem, and the reason why most people create a reality of suffering, is that Heka is completely neutral. This force has no will of its own. It doesn't judge whether your desire is good or bad for you. It's like electricity. It simply powers the device to which it's connected. If your words, your commands are charged with the vibration of fear, doubt, scarcity, and self-criticism, that's exactly what Heka will faithfully build into your life. It materializes the frequency of your decree. When you say, "I'll never get out of this situation," you're taking the most powerful force in the universe and directing it to build even higher walls around yourself. You're using the power of a god to reinforce your own powerlessness. You become both the architect and the prisoner of the same cell. Most people spend their entire lives doing this, unknowingly trapped in a cycle of negative creation, blaming the outside world for a reality they themselves are ordering every second. But how does this work in practice? How can a sound coming out of your mouth have such a concrete effect? The answer lies not only in ancient philosophy, but in scientific discoveries that are beginning to prove in the laboratory what the wise Egyptians already knew millennia ago. There is physical, visible proof that demonstrates exactly how your verbal commands are at this very moment, reorganizing the matter within your own body. And this proof is in the substance that makes up most of who you are, the mirror within you. Modern science, in its search for answers, often ends up simply rediscovering truths that ancient cultures already knew. The work of Japanese researcher Masaru Emoto is perhaps the clearest and most shocking demonstration of the physical power of words. In his experiments, he exposed water samples to different stimuli, words, thoughts, and music. Then he froze this water and photographed the crystals that formed. The results were impressive and undeniable, revealing a profound truth about the nature of reality. When water samples were exposed to high-frequency words and intentions such as love, gratitude, and thank you, the ice crystals that formed were breathtakingly beautiful. They arranged themselves into perfect geometric patterns, complex and harmonious ice mandalas, like unique and symmetrical snowflakes. The water responded to the positive vibration by structuring itself in a coherent and beautiful way. It was as if matter itself was celebrating the energy it received, reflecting it in its physical form. On the other hand, when water was exposed to low-frequency words and intentions such as hate, "You disgust me," or demon, the result was the complete opposite. When frozen, the water formed chaotic, misshapen, and fragmented structures. There was no symmetry, no beauty, only disorder. The crystals looked sick, broken, as if the negative energy itself had disintegrated their molecular structure. The water wasn't just listening, it was responding physically, becoming a mirror of the vibration it received. Now stop and think about the most crucial fact about your own body. It is composed of more than 70% water. Every cell, every tissue, every organ is immersed in this liquid medium. What do you think happens to this water when you address yourself with words of self-criticism and negativity? Every time you look in the mirror and think, "I look awful," or when you make a mistake and say how stupid I am, you are not just having a thought. You are sending a direct vibrational command to 70% of your being. Your biology doesn't distinguish between a literal command and a figure of speech. To the cells in your body, a command is a command. By repeating phrases of failure and limitation, you are forcing the water molecules within you to contort into patterns of chaos and disorder. Just like in Emoto's experiments, you are literally programming disease, fatigue, and aging into your own body at a cellular level. Your health is a direct reflection of the quality of the conversations you have with yourself. This discovery is irrefutable proof that language is a biological programming code. But what if this power wasn't limited to just the water inside you? What if the programming you emit didn't stop at the boundaries of your skin? What would happen if that same energy were at this very moment, extending outwards and shaping not only your body but the entire world around you? What if you were transmitting a signal that affects everything and everyone who crosses your path? The words you speak don't simply disappear into thin air after being said. They are waves of energy, vibrations that propagate from you. And the source of this transmission is far more powerful than you might imagine. Research conducted by institutes like HeartMath in California has made a revolutionary discovery about the human body. They proved that the heart generates an electromagnetic field that is thousands of times stronger than the field generated by the brain. It is the most powerful field produced by your body. This electromagnetic field is not contained within your chest. It radiates outward, extending several meters in all directions around you, forming a kind of energy bubble, an aura that completely surrounds you. You are at this very moment sitting in the center of your own personal force field. And this field is not static. It is dynamic and constantly changing, responding directly to what you feel and, more importantly, to what you say. Your words modulate the frequency of this field. When you speak, your words are charged with the emotion you feel in your heart. If you constantly complain about a lack of money with a genuine feeling of scarcity, your words carry that vibration into your electromagnetic field. You become a transmission tower, emitting a signal of lack to the universe. And by the law of resonance, the universe responds by bringing more situations that match that frequency. Unexpected bills, missed opportunities, drying up sources of income. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you vibrate. On the other hand, when you express genuine gratitude, even for the simplest things, your heart enters a state of coherence. This positive emotion carries your words and adjusts your electromagnetic field to a frequency of abundance and appreciation. You become a beacon, a magnet for more experiences to be grateful for. The right people appear, doors open, synchronicities happen. External reality has no choice but to reorganize itself to mirror the frequency you are emitting. Your speech, therefore, functions like a remote control for your reality. Each sentence is a button you press, adjusting the vibrational station you transmit to the world. The big problem is that most people have this remote control on autopilot. They react to the world instead of creating it, trapped in a loop of transmitting frequencies programmed by their traumas, fears, and the limiting beliefs of society. They transmit a victim signal and are surprised when life treats them as one. But what if it were possible to take manual control of this transmission? What if the secret to changing its frequency lay not only in changing emotion, but in understanding the very architecture of sound? The ancients knew that sound was not just a wave, but a geometric force, a tool capable of creating form from the invisible. What if the key to building a new reality was hidden in the very physical structure of the sound you produce? The secret architecture of sound. What you perceive as solid reality around you is not in fact solid. At its most fundamental level, everything is vibration. The walls of your house, the chair you are sitting on, your own body, everything is composed of atoms vibrating at different frequencies. What we perceive as solid matter is simply energy vibrating at a slower, denser frequency. This is not a mystical idea. It's a basic principle of quantum physics, and the most powerful tool you possess to influence this vibration is sound. The science of cymatics offers the most impressive visual proof of this principle. When scientists apply different sound frequencies to a surface covered with fine particles such as sand, salt, or water, something extraordinary happens. The particles don't scatter randomly. They instantly organize themselves into complex and perfect geometric patterns. Intricate mandalas, hexagonal shapes, structures resembling flowers or living cells. Sound literally creates order and form from chaos. If a single grain of sand, an inanimate particle, submits to the geometry of sound and organizes itself into a beautiful and coherent pattern, imagine what the sound of your own voice is doing to your life. Your existence is an infinitely more complex vibrational symphony. Every aspect of your reality, your health, your relationships, your finances, is vibrating at a specific frequency, and your voice, the words you repeat every day, acts as the conductor leading this orchestra. If you are constantly playing the same sad song, repeating the melody of hardship, pain, and frustration, your reality will manifest as a symphony of disharmony and chaos. The patterns that form in your life will be broken and misshapen like water crystals exposed to hatred. The Egyptian code, the wisdom of Thoth, teaches exactly this. The word is the hammer and chisel you use to sculpt the statue of your life experience from the block of stone of reality. The question, therefore, has never been whether you are creating your reality, because you are doing so every second of every day. The real question is what you are creating. Most people live in a state of unconscious creation, like a sculptor hammering stone blindfolded following movements they have been taught. never seeing the form they are creating. They are trapped in automatism, repeating programs that are not even their own programs installed by society, family, and the media. And the most dangerous thing is that this system was subtly designed to ensure that you create without power, that you use this divine tool in a limited way. It did this by giving you a set of flawed tools, by teaching you to use words that are in fact linguistic traps, words that seem harmless, but that were carefully designed to keep you in a state of submission and powerlessness, ensuring that your sculpture never becomes the masterpiece it could be. Many of the words and phrases you use in your daily life automatically and innocently are actually traps. They are linguistic programming codes that have been implanted in our culture to keep us in a state of subtle submission. They function like limiting spells that you cast on yourself without realizing it. For example, how many times a day do you say the word try? I'll try to finish this today. I'll try to call you. It seems like a harmless word, but it's a command for failure. When you say you're going to try, you're programming your subconscious mind with the possibility of failure. The word try implies effort, not accomplishment. It leaves the door open for failure. A committed person doesn't try, they do. By using that word, you weaken your intention and signal to the universe that your commitment isn't total. It's a decree of uncertainty, and reality responds to that uncertainty with inconsistent and frustrating results. Another powerful example is the phrase, "I understand." We use this expression to signal that we understand something, but its etymological origin reveals a hidden and submissive meaning. The word comes from the Latin intendere, which means to extend downwards or to be under. At a deep subconscious level, every time you say, "I understand," you are affirming a position of inferiority, placing yourself below the situation or the person you are energetically submitting yourself. These are not words chosen at random. The removal of the study of etymology, the true origin and power of words from modern education systems, was not an accident. It was a design. By ensuring that the masses used language superficially, the system ensured that people repeated these commands of powerlessness without questioning. With each repetition of "I need," which reinforces lack, or "it's difficult," which creates resistance, you reinforce the clauses of your contract of scarcity and difficulty. The first step to freeing yourself from this linguistic prison is conscious vigilance. It's about starting to pay attention to what you say. It's about putting a guard at the door of your mouth and analyzing the words before they come out. It's about interrupting the autopilot and stopping signing contracts you haven't read and that don't serve you. It's an act of rebellion against the programming. But simply avoiding negative words is only half the battle. It's like stopping digging the hole, but not knowing how to get out of it. True power, true mastery, lies not only in avoiding what weakens you, but in consciously activating what strengthens you. And to do that, we need to delve deeper into the Egyptian code. They knew that conscious manifestation depended not only on positive words, but on the activation of two specific divine forces, two faculties of consciousness, that when united, give human beings the power to deliberately create reality, just like the gods. The Thoth code, the two keys to manifestation. Now we arrive at the heart of the secret, the central cog in the creative mechanism that the Egyptian code reveals to us. Conscious manifestation, the ability to transform a desire into physical reality, does not happen by luck or chance. It is a precise process that requires the deliberate activation of two divine faculties that exist within you. The Egyptian personified these two forces in the gods Seer and Hu. Understanding and mastering these two keys is what separates unconscious creation from mastery. Seer is the first key. Seer represents perception, conception, the absolute clarity of vision. It is the ability to form in your mind the purest, most detailed, and perfect image of what you wish to create. Seer is the architect. Before anything can be built in the physical world, it must first be perfectly designed in the mental world. This is not a vague desire like, "I want more money." Seer demands that you see, feel, and know exactly the amount, how it arrives, how you feel when you have it. It is the detailed blueprint of your creation. Who is the second key? Who represents the authority of the spoken word, the power of divine command? Who is the builder? It is the force that takes the perfect design created by Seer and transforms it into physical reality through the power of decree. Who is the word spoken with unwavering certainty, with the absolute conviction that what is spoken is already real. It is not a request, it is not a plea, it is an order. It is the authority of a king who knows that his command will be obeyed without question. The vast majority of people fail to manifest their desires because they try to use one key without the other, or they use both weakly and inconsistently. Many people speak unclearly, using who without a seer blueprint. They send vague and contradictory wishes out into the universe, such as, "I want to be happy," without ever defining what happiness means to them. The result is a chaotic and confused creation. It's like handing building materials to a team without any blueprint of what needs to be built. Other people have a clear vision, a perfect seer project, but they lack whose authority. They dream, they visualize, but when it comes time to decree, their words are full of doubt. "I would like to have that," or "it would be good if that happened." Their words are weak, powerless, and the universe ignores them. It's like having the most incredible project in the world, but hiring a builder who doesn't believe he's capable of erecting the building. Doubt nullifies the power of creation. The true secret of Thoth, the exact mechanism of how his words control reality, is the perfect and deliberate union of these two forces. First, you use seer to enter a state of mental clarity and create the most vivid and detailed blueprint possible of what you desire. You see it, feel it, live it in your imagination until it becomes more real than your current reality. And then, from that state of certainty, you activate who. You utter the command declaring that it is already a fact, complete. Now the question is, how do you apply this in practice to rewrite the script of your destiny? The best news in this whole journey is that no spell is permanent. No contract is unbreakable. The same power you unconsciously use to create a reality of limitation can be consciously used to build a reality of freedom and abundance. Reversing the spell begins with a simple yet revolutionary act: the deliberate replacement of the low-frequency words you use every day. It's an act of consciously reprogramming your own code. Start observing yourself. Every time you catch yourself saying a phrase that weakens you, stop. Take a deep breath and consciously choose a new phrase, a new command. For example, instead of saying, "I am sick," which is a decree instructing your body to remain in a state of disharmony, change the command. Declare with conviction, "My body is in a powerful process of healing and regeneration every second." You are not denying a symptom. You are giving a new order to your biology. When money worries arise and you feel the urge to say, "I don't have enough money," intercept that thought. Replace that decree of scarcity with an affirmation of power. Say, "I am a magnet for abundance, and unexpected financial opportunities flow to me easily and frequently." At first, your logical mind may resist, may call it a lie, but you are not lying. You are exercising your power as a creator. You are using seer to conceive a new reality, and who to command it into existence. This is much more than positive thinking. It's a deliberate choice of vibrational frequency. Each phrase you choose has a different energetic signature. "I am lost" is a frequency of contraction and confusion. "I am opening myself to new and exciting paths" is a frequency of expansion and possibility. By changing the word, you send a new order to the water in your body, which begins to reorganize itself into patterns of coherence. You change the signal of your electromagnetic field, which begins to attract events that match the new frequency. The response of reality to this change is surprisingly quick. The subtle internal shift of a single decree can generate a massive external response. A person you needed to contact calls you out of the blue. An idea for a new business pops into your mind. You find a banknote on the street. The universe begins to send you little winks, small signs to show you that it has heard your new command and is reorganizing itself to obey. It's proof that your new programming is working. However, there is a trap. Many people start doing this but quickly give up because they don't see immediate results or because their words seem empty. They try to decree prosperity but still feel poor inside. This happens because they are ignoring the most crucial step. The word, however powerful, is only the vehicle. The true power, the true energy that moves creation is not in the word itself but in the source from which it emerges. And if that source is not pure, the word becomes useless. The power that lives before the word. The spoken word, however precise and powerful, is only the tip of the spear. The true force that propels it, that gives it the power to pierce the veil of reality and manifest something new, is the intention and conviction that carry it. In ancient Egyptian rituals, the pronunciation of a name of power or incantation was never a casual act. It was the climax of a process that began long before, in a state of deep focus, concentration, and inner alignment. They knew that the word only had power if it was driven by the unified force of the heart and mind. What you need to master, therefore, is not just what you say, but the state from which you say it. The true training ground for manifestation is the inner silence that precedes sound. It is in this space of stillness, free from the constant noise of the reactive mind, that seer, the clarity of perception, can manifest in its purest form. It is in silence that you can build the blueprint of your creation without the interference of the ego's doubts and fears. The word that emerges from this silence is not a reaction. It is a creation. The word that springs from certainty, from inner knowledge and not from need or despair, is the word that carries the unquestionable authority of who. If you try to decree prosperity while your heart is heavy with fear of scarcity and your mind is screaming about bills to pay, you are sending two contradictory commands to the universe. The vibration of your word, prosperity, is nullified by the much stronger vibration of your inner state, fear. The result is null. Your electromagnetic field becomes static noise, and creation does not happen. The most advanced and effective spiritual practice, therefore, is cultivating inner silence. It is learning to sit amidst the chaos of your mind and simply observe your thoughts without identifying with them. It is training yourself to find the point of stillness that exists between one breath and the next. Meditation is not about emptying the mind, but about finding the space where you exist beyond the mind. It is in this space that your true power resides. It is from this center of power that your decrees become universal laws. When your words emerge from that place of pure presence and certainty, they become a force of nature. They don't need to be shouted. A whisper from inner silence is more powerful than a scream from despair. The quality of your silence directly determines the power of your words. Your external reality is a perfect mirror, not only of what you say, but of the quality of the consciousness from which you speak. Your life is a reflection of the depth of your silence. And if this profound knowledge has reached you, if you have felt the truth resonating in each of these words, understand that this is not an accident. It is not a coincidence. There is a reason why you were chosen to receive this instruction manual. Something within you, a part of you that has always known the truth, was ready to awaken and take control. You were ready to stop being the program and become the programmer. If this knowledge has reached you, it's because a part of you was already seeking a way out of prison. Something in your soul was tired of repeating the same patterns, of living the same life in a loop. You weren't chosen by chance. You were chosen because you were ready for mastery. You were ready to stop being a victim of circumstances, an unconscious repeater of limiting programs, and finally assume your rightful place as the conscious architect of your own existence. From this very moment on, ignorance is no longer an option. You can no longer pretend you don't know. Every word that comes out of your mouth, every thought you allow into your mind is now a conscious choice. Every sentence is a brick you are laying in the foundation of your future. You are building the temple of your life brick by brick, word by word. The question now is, what kind of temple will you build? One of fear and scarcity, or one of freedom and power? The Egyptian code, the wisdom of Thoth, and the powers of Heka, seer, and who are not merely myths from an ancient dusty civilization. They are a living, functional instruction manual for the most advanced creation technology in existence, a technology that resides within you. They are the map that shows you how to navigate the interface of reality, how to write the source code of your own life experience. You have always had this power, but now you have the manual. Always remember, your voice is your scepter of power, the tool with which you issue your decrees to the universe. Your heart is the frequency generator, the engine that charges your words with the energy of emotion and modulates your electromagnetic field. And your mind, when silenced and focused, is the field of conception, the blank canvas where you draw the blueprint of your reality with the clarity of seer. You have all the tools you need. The life you desire, the reality of your deepest dreams, is not in the distant future. It doesn't depend on anyone but you. It's not waiting for a stroke of luck or external permission. It's waiting right now in the next word you choose to utter. It's contained in the next thought you choose to nurture. The entire universe is silent, holding its breath, awaiting your next command. Your life will unfold exactly according to the clarity of your vision and the authority of your words. There are no more excuses. There is no more time to waste on complaints or self-pity. The power is in your hands, or rather, in your mouth. The only thing left to do, the only step that matters now is to begin. Look at your life, decide what you want to create, and give the first order. Start building. If you've made it this far, it's because your search for answers is stronger than the programming they tried to impose on you. You are no longer the same person who started this video. To seal this new awareness, leave your mark in the comments, writing, "My words create my reality." If this message resonated with you and you feel called to help this channel grow and share more knowledge like this, there is a way to support us more directly. You'll find a link in the first pinned comment. Any contribution, no matter the size, truly means more than you know and helps shape the future of this channel. But please understand this above all else. Simply staying until the end already makes a difference. Your time, your attention, your presence. These are the most valuable gifts you can give. And if supporting financially isn't possible, you can still help in a powerful way by sharing this video with someone you feel needs to hear this message. Before you go, remember your journey doesn't end here. I've prepared a special video for you, the next step to go deeper into what we explored today and apply it more fully in your life. Don't leave just yet. Click the video on your screen now, and I'll meet you there.